You might be shocked to learn that certain vegetables, yes, even the ones most people call healthy, could be quietly destroying your leg strength, speeding up your brain's aging, and weakening your immune system. It's hard to believe, right? But numerous long-term studies, including those published in the Journal of Gerontology, confirm that for seniors over 65, regularly consuming the wrong vegetables can increase inflammation, impair blood flow to the brain and legs, and raise the risk of falls, one of the most serious threats to independent living. I've worked with older adults for over a decade, and one thing has become clear: not all vegetables are created equal, especially when it comes to aging gracefully and staying mobile. Now here's the real twist. One of the most harmful vegetables for older adults is probably sitting in your kitchen right now. It might even be a part of your dinner routine. At first glance, these foods seem harmless, low in calories, packed with fiber, colorful and fresh. But beneath the surface, they can trigger low-grade inflammation, damage the delicate blood vessels in your legs, and silently rob you of the coordination and balance you need to move confidently. So today, we're going to set the record straight. I'll share with you 3 vegetables that seniors like you must eat daily to maintain strength, sharpness, and circulation, and 3 common vegetables you should avoid completely if you care about your independence and long-term well-being. There are 3 vegetables that might seem healthy, but they're actually quietly destroying your leg strength. And one of them? It's likely in your kitchen right now. I remember a patient of mine, Mr. Kinley, 72 years old, who came in complaining of numbness in his legs and balance issues. He wasn't on any medication that would explain it. But after we looked into his diet, we discovered that one of his favorite healthy vegetables was actually contributing to systemic inflammation. Within a month of switching to a more senior-friendly diet, the difference in his energy and mobility was astounding. This kind of transformation isn't rare. It happens again and again when the right dietary changes are made. The biggest mistake? Thinking age is the only thing to blame. If you've been feeling just a bit off lately, maybe your legs tire faster than they used to, or you're not as steady on your feet, don't ignore those signs. It might not be just getting older. It could be something you're eating without even realizing the consequences. These silent signals often go unnoticed until a fall happens, or memory starts to slip, or strength disappears one step at a time. Let's make this a bit interactive. What's one vegetable you eat at least 3 times a week? Type it in the comments below. I'm genuinely curious, and I'll be responding to as many of you as I can. You might even be surprised to learn that one of your favorites could be doing more harm than good. If this content resonates with you already, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe, and tap the notification bell. These small actions help us reach more seniors like you, who deserve clear, science-backed health advice that actually makes a difference. Because when it comes to aging well, knowledge isn't just power, it's the key to staying independent, staying confident, and living life on your own terms. Now that we understand the why, let's explore the what. In the next section, I'll reveal the first vegetable that should be on your plate every single day, especially if you want to protect your bones, circulation, and the strength in your legs. It's not exotic or expensive, but what it does for the aging body is remarkable. Let's dive in. As we age, our bodies don't just need more care, they need smarter care. And one of the smartest things seniors can do is to include the right vegetables in their daily meals. These aren't trendy superfoods or expensive supplements. They're simple, affordable, and backed by science. Today, I'll walk you through 3 powerful vegetables that every person over 65 should eat regularly to support strong legs, a sharp mind, and lasting mobility. First, we'll explore a green cruciferous vegetable that acts like internal armor, protecting your joints, boosting circulation, and fighting inflammation. Next, we'll turn to a leafy powerhouse that supports blood flow, preserves memory, and enhances muscle responsiveness. And finally, we'll uncover a bright root vegetable that's not only good for your eyesight but is vital for balance, coordination, and nerve health. These 3 vegetables are more than just food. They're daily investments in your freedom, your vitality, and your ability to live life on your own terms. Let's start with the one that many people overlook, yet could be your greatest ally in aging well. Ready to discover what it is? Let's begin with the first, broccoli, the green shield against aging. 1. Broccoli, the natural shield against aging. Let's begin with one of the most underrated yet powerful allies in your journey to aging well, broccoli. At first glance, it may not seem like much. It's not flashy. It doesn't promise miracles. But don't let that fool you. Broccoli is your body's natural shield against aging, a true green armor, designed by nature to protect everything that matters most as you get older: your joints, your bones, your heart, and yes, even your legs. What makes broccoli so extraordinary is a compound called sulforaphane, a powerful phytochemical that doesn't just reduce chronic inflammation, but actively supports your body's ability to heal, to cleanse itself of toxins, and to fight back against cellular aging. And here's why that matters. Chronic inflammation is one of the hidden forces behind weak legs, stiff joints, memory loss, and even reduced circulation. For seniors, this kind of inflammation builds up quietly over time, until one day, walking feels harder, climbing stairs becomes a struggle, and balance isn't what it used to be. That's why there are 3 vegetables that might seem healthy, but they're actually quietly destroying your leg strength, and one of them may already be on your plate. But broccoli? Broccoli does the opposite. It strengthens, fortifies, and restores. It's packed with vitamin K, calcium, and a wealth of antioxidants, all essential for maintaining bone density and arterial health, which are both critical for avoiding fractures and keeping your legs strong and stable. Seniors often overlook how important circulation is for mobility, but sulforaphane in broccoli supports peripheral blood flow, helping ensure your legs and feet are well-nourished and oxygenated. That means fewer cramps, better balance, and a lower risk of dangerous falls. And unlike some medications that come with side effects, broccoli gives your body what it needs naturally, without compromise. Now, how you cook it matters. To preserve its healing powers, broccoli should be lightly steamed, not boiled to mush. Just a few minutes of steaming keeps its sulforaphane intact while making it easier to digest for aging stomachs. I often tell my clients, a cup of steamed broccoli a day isn't just a side dish, it's a daily act of self-respect. It's a quiet promise to yourself that you want to move through life not just surviving, but thriving. In my years working with seniors, I've seen remarkable improvements in leg strength and stability simply by adding this one vegetable consistently to the diet. So, if you're looking for a simple place to start with broccoli. Because the ability to walk confidently and live independently tomorrow often depends on the choices you make today. And speaking of strength and independence, there's another leafy green that holds a secret key to maintaining muscle power, enhancing blood flow to the brain, and even keeping your memory sharp. Let's explore the hidden power of spinach next. You'll be surprised what this humble green can do. 2. Spinach, the silent engine of strength and mental clarity. If broccoli is your body's shield, then spinach is the quiet engine that keeps everything running from your legs to your brain. So often overlooked as just a salad green, spinach holds a hidden strength that every senior should tap into daily. As someone who's worked closely with older adults for over a decade, I've seen firsthand how something as simple as a daily handful of spinach can completely transform energy, focus, and physical ability. What makes spinach so powerful isn't just one nutrient, it's a symphony of them. It's packed with natural nitrates, which may sound surprising, but these compounds actually widen blood vessels and boost circulation, especially to your legs, brain, and heart. For aging adults, improved blood flow means everything. It means muscles that don't fatigue as easily, fewer leg cramps, better balance, and a mind that stays alert and clear. I once worked with a 68-year-old woman who felt like her reflexes were slowing down. After a few weeks of eating spinach daily, she reported not just better energy, but sharper thinking and even steadier steps. This isn't a coincidence. Scientific studies have shown that lutein, a key antioxidant in spinach, is directly linked to preserving memory and enhancing mental processing speed. And here's the hook. There are vegetables we trust that may quietly be draining our strength and mental clarity, but spinach is not one of them. It protects your brain, your balance, and even your vision, all in one bite. Spinach is also rich in folate, a B vitamin that supports mood and nerve function, something many seniors unknowingly lack. And let's not forget about your eyes. Spinach contains lutein and zeaxanthin, 2 nutrients that protect against macular degeneration, the #1 cause of vision loss in older adults. What's more, spinach is incredibly versatile. Blend it into smoothies, sauté it lightly with garlic, or toss it into soups. Just avoid overcooking it, as high heat can destroy those delicate, brain-protecting compounds. A light sauté or steam is all it takes to unlock its full benefits. From the strength in your legs to the clarity in your thoughts, spinach works behind the scenes to keep everything connected, flowing, and responsive. I often call it the quiet healer, because it doesn't make a fuss, but its impact is profound. For any senior looking to feel steadier, think sharper, and age with dignity, Spinach deserves a place on your plate every single day. And now that we've uncovered how this leafy green powers your movement and your mind, let's turn our attention to something a little brighter, something orange, crunchy, and surprisingly critical to your ability to stay on your feet. Because the next vegetable doesn't just protect your eyes, it helps you stand tall. Let's explore the unsung role of carrots in preserving balance, coordination, and confidence as we age. 3. Carrot, the guardian of vision, balance, and metabolism. Let's now turn to a vegetable that's bright, familiar, and far more powerful than it appears: carrots. Often praised for eye health, this crunchy root does so much more, especially for seniors. I like to call it the guardian of stability, because its impact goes beyond what most people imagine. Carrots are loaded with beta-carotene, a compound your body turns into vitamin A, vital for protecting your vision, particularly against age-related macular degeneration, which is the #1 cause of blindness in older adults. But the story doesn't end with eyesight. What many people don't realize is that sharp vision plays a major role in preventing falls. The clearer you can see your surroundings, the more confidently you move through your environment. And here's the twist: some vegetables may quietly be stealing your balance and coordination without you realizing it, but carrots help preserve both. The antioxidants in carrots help protect nerve pathways, keeping the communication between your brain and feet sharp and responsive. That means fewer stumbles, steadier steps, and more freedom to move without fear. I once had a client who used to feel wobbly during morning walks. After incorporating carrots regularly, alongside other anti-inflammatory foods, her stability noticeably improved, and so did her confidence. But carrots don't just protect your nerves and eyes. They're also rich in fiber, which supports blood sugar regulation and healthy digestion. For seniors, that matters a lot. Why? Because unstable blood sugar not only affects energy, but also weakens muscles and circulation over time. A steady metabolism means more stamina, less fatigue, and better muscle responsiveness, especially in your legs. And here's your moment to engage. Have you ever wondered if your favorite comfort food might be quietly draining your energy and strength? If so, type "yes" in the comments below and stay with me, because the next part of this video might completely change how you see one very popular vegetable. Now, when it comes to preparation, carrots are incredibly flexible. They're delicious raw, grated into salads, or lightly steamed to enhance their sweetness while preserving nutrients. A couple of medium carrots a day can act as your daily dose of protection for your eyes, your balance, and even your metabolic health. In short, they're a small but mighty addition to any senior's diet. And just like broccoli and spinach, carrots offer natural defense against the hidden effects of aging that often catch us off guard. But now that we've covered the 3 vegetables every senior should eat, it's time for the part that most people don't want to hear: the vegetables you should never touch. Because believe it or not, some of the most common vegetables on your plate could be inflaming your joints, weakening your circulation, and slowly stealing your mobility. Let's uncover the truth, starting with one that looks innocent but may be quietly eroding your strength from the inside out. Now that we've uncovered the 3 vegetables that can fuel your strength, sharpen your mind, and help you age with grace, it's time to face the harder truth: the vegetables that may be quietly doing the opposite. Yes, not all vegetables are good for everyone, especially as we grow older. In fact, some common vegetables can silently trigger inflammation, disrupt your balance, damage circulation in your legs, and even accelerate the loss of mobility without you realizing why. For seniors, whose bodies are already more sensitive to dietary triggers, these hidden threats can slowly wear away at independence and well-being. In this next section, we'll explore 3 vegetables that older adults should limit or avoid altogether, no matter how familiar or seemingly healthy they might appear. These aren't extreme or rare cases. They're everyday choices that may be quietly sabotaging your efforts to stay strong and active. If you've been eating these regularly, don't panic, but do stay with me. Because understanding what not to put on your plate is just as powerful as knowing what to include. Let's start with the first surprising culprit: a glossy, purple vegetable that could be inflaming your joints more than helping them. Let's talk about eggplant. 1. Eggplant, the hidden threat to joints and mobility. Let's begin this warning list with a vegetable that looks harmless, even beautiful, but maybe doing more harm than good to your aging body. Eggplant. With its deep purple skin and spongy texture, eggplant is a staple in many kitchens, often praised for being low in calories and high in fiber. But for seniors, this vegetable carries a hidden chemical compound called solanine, and that's where the real danger begins. Solanine is a natural defense toxin found in nightshade vegetables like eggplant, and in sensitive individuals, especially those over 60, it can quietly trigger joint pain, inflammation, and even muscle stiffness. I've met many older adults who thought their increasing discomfort was just old age, when in reality, it was being fueled by foods like this. And here's the hook. While some vegetables like carrots and spinach are strengthening your legs, eggplant might be quietly weakening them, damaging the tissues and circulation that keep you walking with confidence. If you already suffer from arthritis, neuropathy, or general joint pain, solanine can make things worse. It subtly inflames the connective tissue, slows down blood flow, and interferes with nerve signals between the brain and limbs, essentially chipping away at your balance and strength from the inside. What makes this even more concerning is how eggplant often disguises itself in healthy meals, from grilled veggie sandwiches to stir-fried dishes. But no matter how it's cooked, baked, grilled, or sautéed, the solanine content remains. I once worked with a senior man who loved eggplant parmesan. He ate it twice a week and couldn't understand why his knees ached so much afterward. Once we removed eggplant from his meals for 3 weeks, he called me, shocked at how much lighter and more mobile he felt. That's the power of paying attention. And while not everyone is equally sensitive to solanine, the aging body becomes more vulnerable to its effects. Muscles tire faster, joints swell more easily, and the risk of stumbling increases, not because of aging alone, but because of what we're putting on our plates. The emotional toll is just as heavy. When you begin to lose your ability to move freely, it chips away at your confidence, your independence, even your sense of joy. That's why being mindful of foods like eggplant isn't overreacting. It's respecting your body's limits and protecting your freedom. Now, does this mean you can never eat eggplant again? Not necessarily. But if you've been eating it regularly and suffering from unexplained pain, stiffness, or balance issues, it might be time to take a closer look. Because the strength to keep walking, dancing, and living on your terms often begins with small, quiet changes in your diet. And while eggplant might be a hidden threat, it's not the only one. There's another vegetable, bright, crunchy, and found in almost every kitchen, that may be feeding silent inflammation in your body without you even knowing it. Let's turn to the surprising truth about green bell peppers next. 2. Green bell pepper, the silent spark of inflammation. Now let's talk about a vegetable that might look refreshing on your plate, but could be quietly setting your health on fire from the inside out. The green bell pepper. Crisp, colorful, and often praised for being low in calories, green bell peppers are a familiar sight in kitchens across America. But for seniors, their cheerful appearance hides a biological landmine, one that could be feeding chronic pain, joint stiffness, and even balance issues. The real culprit? Lectins. These naturally occurring proteins are found in many plants, but green bell peppers, as members of the nightshade family, contain them in unusually high amounts. And here's the hook. While you may be reaching for green peppers in the name of health, they might be fueling the very inflammation you're trying so hard to avoid. Lectins can bind to the lining of your intestines, disrupt nutrient absorption, and trigger low-grade inflammation, especially dangerous in aging bodies that already struggle with immune sensitivity and slower recovery. For seniors, this can result in more than just bloating or digestive discomfort. The inflammation often spreads silently to joints and blood vessels, dulling nerve signals and weakening the legs, making once-easy movements, like getting up from a chair or walking steadily, feel suddenly unstable. I once worked with a 70-year-old client who felt like his legs didn't listen to him anymore. After removing green bell peppers from his diet and replacing them with gentler alternatives like zucchini or steamed carrots, his sensation and coordination improved within weeks. And this isn't just anecdotal. Scientific studies confirm that lectins in nightshades can contribute to autoimmune flare-ups, particularly in those predisposed to arthritis, IBS, or cardiovascular problems. The problem gets worse when you realize that the antioxidant content in green bell peppers is significantly lower than in red, orange, or yellow peppers. That means you're dealing with more inflammation, but receiving fewer protective nutrients in return. Even cooking green peppers doesn't entirely neutralize the lectins, though it helps slightly. But if you're already dealing with inflammation, joint pain, or balance issues, why risk it at all? As we age, the foods we eat must serve a purpose. They should heal, not harm. Green bell peppers may have once been a safe choice, but for aging bodies, they can become a slow-burning fuse leading to deeper dysfunction. And here's where I want to hear from you. Have you ever eaten something you thought was healthy, only to feel worse after? If so, leave a comment with the word inflammation so we know you're watching closely, because what's coming next might shock you. We're about to look at one of the most beloved comfort foods in America, a vegetable that feels like home, but may be quietly draining your strength, raising your blood sugar, and threatening your mobility. Let's uncover the hidden dangers of white potatoes and why they might be the biggest betrayal on your dinner plate. 3. White potato, the betrayal of a beloved tradition. Now let's talk about a food that probably brings you comfort, warmth, and nostalgia, but might also be quietly stealing your strength. The white potato. From mashed potatoes at family dinners to golden fries shared with grandkids, white potatoes are woven into the fabric of American life. But here's the shocking truth. For seniors over 65, this familiar favorite can become a silent saboteur of health. Here's the hook. What if the food that feels most like home is actually draining the energy from your legs, inflaming your blood vessels, and increasing your risk of falling? That's the dark side of white potatoes. They're extremely high in simple carbohydrates with a high glycemic index, meaning they cause rapid spikes in blood sugar. While that rush might feel satisfying in the moment, it sets off a chain reaction of inflammation inside your body, especially dangerous for older adults whose blood vessels are already more fragile. These sugar spikes can damage the delicate capillaries in your legs and feet, leading to numbness, poor circulation, and slow wound healing. Key contributors to instability and falls. I once worked with a 68-year-old woman who loved her evening baked potato. She had no idea that her post-meal leg cramps and tingling were related to her nightly habit. After replacing white potatoes with sweet potatoes and quinoa, her symptoms eased and her energy returned. But the problems don't stop at blood sugar. Over time, white potatoes contribute to arterial stiffening, a process known as arteriosclerosis, which reduces blood flow to your lower limbs. This can lead to cold feet, poor balance, fatigue during walking, and even long-term mobility loss. What makes this even more tragic is that white potatoes, while filling, offer little in terms of protective nutrition. Unlike their colorful cousin, the sweet potato, packed with antioxidants and beta-carotene, white potatoes are lacking in anti-aging compounds that support the brain, heart, and muscles. Even worse, they're often served with butter, cream, salt, or fried in oil, amplifying their burden on your heart and blood pressure. For seniors managing diabetes, hypertension, or joint pain, a plate of white potatoes isn't just comfort food. It's a ticking time bomb. And here's where I want to invite you in. Have you noticed your legs feel weaker or less responsive after eating certain harmless foods? If so, leave a comment with the word stability, because you're not alone, and the conversation we're having could save someone from a serious fall. Swapping white potatoes for more nutrient-dense alternatives doesn't mean letting go of tradition. It means choosing to protect the independence that matters most as we age. And now that we've exposed these 3 sneaky saboteurs, eggplant, green bell pepper, and white potato, it's time to pull all the lessons together. Because when it comes to aging well, every bite is a vote for strength or for struggle. Let's wrap this up with a powerful message you won't want to miss. Now that we've walked this full journey together, through the healing power of broccoli, spinach, and carrots, and the hidden dangers of eggplant, green bell peppers, and white potatoes, it's time to pause, reflect, and ask the question that matters most. What kind of future do you want to build for yourself, starting today? Because here's the truth. Aging doesn't just happen to us. We shape it with every bite, every choice, every act of care we show our body. What you eat today could be the reason you're able to walk confidently 5 years from now, or the reason you're not. That's not fear-mongering. That's experience speaking. As someone who has spent over a decade guiding older adults towards stronger legs, sharper minds, and more independent lives, I can tell you, small changes compound into powerful results. And now, I want to ask you something important. Which of these 6 vegetables surprised you the most today? Was it that humble eggplant you thought was harmless? Or was it the white potato, so familiar, yet quietly working against your balance and mobility? Drop a comment below with the name of the one that shocked you most. Let's start a conversation, because your story might just help someone else. Now here's a moment of truth. If you're still watching at this point, you're different. You're committed. You're not just scrolling through life. You're paying attention, and that already puts you ahead of the curve. So let me say this. If you found even one thing helpful in this video, take 2 seconds right now and give it a thumbs up. And if you want more real, science-backed, heart-centered health advice for seniors just like you, then go ahead and hit that red subscribe button and turn on the bell. This is more than a YouTube channel. It's a growing community of older adults choosing strength, clarity, and freedom together. Now let's circle back to something I said at the very beginning. A final hook, if you will. I told you there was one healthy vegetable that might be silently destroying your legs without you realizing it. We talked about it. It's white potatoes. They feel like comfort, but they steal your circulation, spike your blood sugar, and rob you of the muscle strength you've worked so hard to preserve. But now that you know this, you are no longer powerless. You are no longer in the dark. You are informed, and with that comes strength. I've seen people in their late 70s and early 80s regain mobility, reduce pain, and rediscover energy, not by taking some magic pill, but simply by removing the right foods and adding back the nutrients their body was craving all along. You can do this. One meal at a time. One choice at a time. You don't need to overhaul everything overnight. Just start with one swap today. Maybe that means a cup of steamed broccoli instead of mashed potatoes, or a spinach smoothie instead of a heavy sandwich. Whatever it is, start small, but start with purpose. Because here's what I believe with my whole heart, and what I tell every senior I work with. You are never too old to get stronger, never too old to get sharper, never too old to live lighter. And if no one else has told you that today, I will. You are not just surviving this chapter. You have the power to shape how it ends, and maybe even how the next one begins. So stay curious. Keep learning. Keep listening to your body. And most of all, stay connected with people, with your purpose, and with communities like this. Because we're here for you. And we're just getting started. If you'd like to dive deeper into this topic, check the description for links to additional videos and free health guides just for seniors. In the meantime, if you found value in today's episode, please share this video with someone you care about, and don't forget to hit that red button and subscribe for more empowering tips. Thank you for watching, for staying with me, and for choosing to invest in the one thing no one else can give you: your health, your strength, your future. I'll see you in the next video, where we'll uncover 7 surprising signs your legs are aging faster than the rest of your body and what to do starting tomorrow morning. Until then, take care of your body, because it's the only place you truly have to live.